Today I want to talk about major chord inversions, because they're a very useful tool both for your chord playing and for your soloing, because eventually we're going to learn soloing on the chords, but then it's nice if you're familiar with all the arpeggios that are available. Now it's pretty easy actually, because all the shapes that you can use to play major chords higher up the neck are actually open chords that you might know from your early days of guitar playing, moved upwards. Two of them you might be very familiar with, the famous normal bar chords. This is an A major, that's a D major, which are of course an E major and an A major open chord moved up, right? Actually every open chord that you play without the index finger, you can then use it as a bar and move it up the neck to go from E major, F major, G major, A major. Of course, that's easy. But you can do this with every chord, like the D chord. Becomes an E flat and an E and an F. You just have to make sure that the bass note goes with it as well. Now if we look at the F major bar, easy and familiar, then you should be able to tell where the root notes are. We've got one here, we've got one here, and we've got one right there. Because the thickest and the thinnest string, they're both E strings. So if there's a root note on there, it's also on the other one. And then if we take this root note as a starting point of the next inversion, it's still an F major, but now we'll use the D major shape to play an higher F major. Now you've got a root note of course there, and the other one is here, an octave higher, and if we take that as the new root note, we can play it like this. It's a C major open chord shape. That's also a nice F. And a really nice one to use once you use a bar instead of a capo, because then you can go and use these chord inversions to play in any key without having to buy and take a capo with you. We can take that root note again for the next bar chord. It's the familiar one, F major, or if you want to use all your fingers, F major. And the last one, it's kind of tricky. You won't really use it much as a chord, but it's a G major shape, open G major chord shape, and moved all the way up here. It's an F major, because it starts on F with the root note right here. And there's one here on the G string as well. It's nice and it's very happy. But you can use it as an arpeggio very nicely, because it goes. And that way you're playing the F major chord, but you get different positions and shapes, so it's nice to get creative with those. And of course it works the same in all the other chords. So a G major, and that's just an open G major again, but 12 frets up, right? Makes sense. Because you can use the index as a bar, just move it 12 frets up. It's another G major. Nice. Now, learn those. It's only 5 shapes that you already know. The thing to remember is where the root notes are. That's going to serve you very well in the rest of your music career. Have fun. Good luck.